Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan M. Rafaty, and welcome to the Season 2 of the Let's Work Inclusively podcast. And I'm so excited to introduce a new season that's going to feature leaders within the business, nonprofit, and government landscapes. Today, I have a special guest. Today is actually my cousin, Dr. Shahriela Ganjoor, who is also the founder and many titles within Modern Bite Dentistry, home of Veneer Lounge. So, Dr. Shahriela Ganjoor, how are you today?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you, Dylan.
Well, I'm excited to have you here. Yeah. We're basically going to talk about your story, your background, but also your entrepreneurial journey. She's what I consider a serial entrepreneur, but also your background in support of your industry and how it might intersect around accessibility and disability inclusion.
Love this.
So, Dr. Shaggy, tell us a few things about yourself.
Well, born and raised Plano, Texas. Fun fact that I guess a lot of people, maybe some people know or might not know, but I actually was a dental hygienist before I decided to go back to school to become a dentist. So I feel like that gives me a unique perspective into this awesome dental field that I love and truly care about. I was an athlete growing up. I was a pro cheerleader at one point. I'm currently playing in a co-ed kickball league.
There you go.
So I love traveling. I love my dogs. I love my husband, close with my family. And I strive to be better in every way in my life as the days go on.
Very good. Yeah. And tell me a little bit, you were a dentist who became an entrepreneur, or are you an entrepreneur who happens to practice dentistry?
That's actually a really good question. You know, I guess thinking about it, I'm a dentist who became an entrepreneur. I just love our field so much that as different ideas would come up, I was like, wait, okay, this isn't happening. Yep. Let me dabble in this and start this. Yes. And it just snowballs.
So when you are practicing dentistry, how do you envision, tell me a little bit more about Modern Bite and then now Veneer Lounge. Tell us a little bit more about your practice and what do you envision for the world of dentistry?
Oh, great question. Well, when I graduated dental school, I knew I wanted to open up my own practice. I was a fourth year in dental student, and I actually wrote down my logo, which is still my logo today, wrote down the name, and I wanted to make this possible. And I realized there's all these luxury, beautiful dental practices on the West Coast or East Coast, but not in Texas. And I knew I wanted to bring that more elevated, luxurious dental experience to my hometown. Yes. Was I expecting to be at the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys? No, but I knew I wanted to bring something truly special and something special that had the patients in mind, you know, and the experience behind it. And it just happens to be at the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, very good. And you've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And is there any other sports teams that you enjoy loving and watching?
Mavs, Stars, Rangers, all of our Dallas teams, I'm a fan of.
Very good. Yeah. And so speaking of the patient experience side of things, can you elaborate what do you envision that you have done so far and where are you planning to go in elevating those patient experiences within a dentistry practice?
When I designed the practice, so I designed the practice. Okay. I knew I wanted dental suites, meaning private rooms with personal doors in there. The general dental practice that we grew up in has, and still to this day, they have the open concept, the open space. So I realized I couldn't use my dental jokes or just my funny jokes from patient to patient because I knew the patient next door could hear me in this room. Yes. So I had to come up with different jokes and stuff as I was going to different rooms. So I was like, one day in my practice, we're going to have individual dental suites.
Yes.
one for my jokes so I could reuse them. But all kidding aside, truly it was because I wanted to create an experience for that patient and customize that room to them. So whatever Netflix show you want to watch, whatever music you want to listen to, whatever aromatherapy you want, truly customizing that experience for my patient.
Yeah. Well, I will say, for those who don't know, I am also a patient of Modern Bite Dentistry. And as somebody who hates going to the dentist, one thing I truly appreciate about Dr. Shaggy, is her nickname, by the way. Dr. Shaggy really does is, one, I get overwhelmed with lighting. And so having a more dimmed room accommodates me to be aware of the sensory overloads. But also, Dr. Shaggy does a very good job in explaining step by step of what is actually happening when they're messing with my mouth. And that to me is important. Even though I'm deaf and hard of hearing, I do value that awareness of what is happening and what transpired. I'm fully aware that not every patient wants to know every exact detail, but I think that intentionality plays so well in the lines of accessibility. In your eyes, as an entrepreneur, as a doctor, what does accessibility mean to you in the world of dentistry?
In the world of dentistry, it's just making sure that we're accommodating. And when you ask me that question, I know, especially in your space, it's a unique phrase, but in my space, I am making sure every single type of person with different personalities, different needs, different wants, a scared patient, an excited patient, a deaf patient. It's like, it doesn't matter what type of patient, because if we see different types of people every single day, we're making sure that we're accommodating to that patient.
Yeah.
So a patient that does need a little bit of hand holding, we call them our TLC, patients. We extend that appointment an hour, and we're extremely blessed. And I know that's not the case in every dental practice. You have 1 hour and that's it. You get your cleaning, your exam, your x-rays, all of that done in 1 hour, out because the next patient is in there.
Yeah.
In our practice, we don't have it that way. There will always be at least one chair available in case if there is that patient that needs that extra time. And the existing patients that we do have that we know needs that extra, we just extend that appointment, and there's no extra charge for that, which of course any business person is going to be like, well, if this cleaning is taking you 2 hours, they should be paying for 2 hours worth of a dental cleaning. We're blessed in other ways that we're able to accommodate that patient if they just need that extra time.
Let me elevate that to another question is, what if the other fellow entrepreneurs and those that are doctors in dentistry, what if they were to apply that practice that you are just alluded to? What is that return on investment to you in your eyes? Immediately I think about is they keep coming back. And that to me is a challenge in what I would assume outside looking in, is that patients, they don't necessarily come as frequently. It's the return on investment from an entrepreneur. They see the value of a returning customer.
So in my eyes and in my CFO's eyes, if hypothetically it takes you for a 2-hour cleaning, I'm paying my dental hygienist, who is an hourly wage, times 2 for something that should take 1, right? So there's not necessarily an ROI on that because I'm losing every time that you come in.
Gotcha.
I have this weird relationship with money. I don't view a patient like money. I view you as a human. Let me take care of you because you're going to see the value in what we bring to you. You're going to see the value so much so that you're going to tell your best friend, your mom, your dad, your cousin, you're going to tell other people about us and how great we are, what a great experience that you're getting, that yes, we might be losing hourly in my CFO's eyes on you, but we got 5 other patients. So that's how I view things. I know a true business mindset CFO would be like, this is a ridiculous plan. But I truly believe in this is how I grew up. The more you give, the more things you receive in other ways. So that's how I see the value. That's how I see the ROI.
Well, I appreciate the empathetic approach toward the practice that you put it forward. And it is definitely shows in the people who keep coming back and the people who want to continue to support you and your practice and so forth. Now, my next question is really going to come down to what are some biggest hurdles that you've experienced as an entrepreneur?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh because there's always hurdles, and you know this too.
Yes.
For any entrepreneur out there, I know everyone's giggling because there's always hurdles.
Yes.
Now, you're asking me what my biggest hurdles are. And I think for me right now in this season of my life, it's time management and truly prioritizing the things that matter.
Yeah.
And the issue is everything matters at this point in my career, right? We have 4 different companies.
Yes.
We're thriving, and I am definitely that OCD type A personality. I want to put 110% to everything.
Yeah.
Like, even I had to reschedule this because I was very honest with you, Dylan. I'm not Shaggy right now. Let's redo this because I want to be Shaggy when I'm on this podcast, right? And I greatly appreciate you understanding that as a fellow entrepreneur of like, you know what, let's just make sure we make this work out. But that's the biggest thing right now. And right now I'm on this trajectory where other people are wanting to partner for other things. They want my insight. They want my time. They want my experience. And it's a blessing to be in that position. But then now I have to really try to structure that to be like, what's in line with myself, with the business, and what's going to help long term. And it's crazy because I'm not looking at things as just as a quick fix, what's going to help me now. How am I going to feel about this in 5-10 years? Like, I'm in the part of my life now that I want to make impacts, not just little touch and goes here and there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I appreciate that kind of feedback, and I would encourage fellow business leaders like Dr. Shaggy, who've kind of explained not only her vision as an entrepreneur, but also how she elevates patients that goes to visit her, but also really thinking about, how do we scale this work and this impact? Because part of your success is reaching people, meeting people where they are, but also creating experiences that are friendly and inviting for everybody. I'm going to go to our first commercial break. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to share that this is our second season of the Let's Work Inclusively podcast. Last season, we featured leaders within the nonprofit, business, and government landscapes talking about their stories and how they're working towards elevating accessibility and disability inclusion all across North Texas. It has been an incredible season last season. We had 12 diverse speakers from various fields with various knowledge and backgrounds and experiences. And so I would encourage you to go on YouTube, check out all of our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other places to really learn about the stories of those individuals. This season, we're excited to feature leaders like Dr. Shaggy, who come from a different perspective that may be new or not necessarily know about what accessibility and disability inclusion might be about, and maybe helping elevate those conversations around accessibility and disability inclusion. So stay tuned for more episodes to come. Now we're going back with Dr. Shaggy. All right, Dr. Shaggy. Now we're going to be talking about the elevation of that patient experience. I really want to elevate this conversation because people with disability, the number one thing is the fear of the unknown. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. And sometimes they clearly don't know what that check-in process might look like. They don't know what the parking situation. They may not know simply who are they going to meet at the front desk, or who's their doctor, who's their dental hygienist. All of those individuals, they sometimes need better awareness and better information. So my question to you is, how can dental practices better accommodate patients with sensory, communication, mobility, and or accessibility needs?
Another great question. With the nice thing, at least in the state of Texas, I assume it's across the nation, we all have to be ADA accessible. Every single dental office, it either needs a ramp, doorways need to be a certain size. So that part I truly do appreciate. Even at the desk, whenever you enter, there has to be a lower area. So if someone needs that lower area to sign in or something, that is there for them. So as far as those basics go, that at least in the state of Texas, that is mandatory. You have to be ADA compliant. Now, in our practice, we have this amazing amenities list. We have an amenities list that whatever makes you feel more comfortable in your situation. You mentioned we call it the spa-like atmosphere.
Yes, you do.
So we dim the lights for our patients so they can just relax. So Dylan, I love that you love this, but the moms that come into the practice without their kids, they're like spa experience. Yes, give me some peace of mind. This is my hour for myself. And I love that, right? But everyone has their own wants and needs. So that right there, I feel like we can be better about creating a more inviting, experience. In our practice, we don't have a waiting room at all. You are invited into a consultation room where you get to meet your doctor face to face, just like in this scenario. We get to sit. I want to get to know you as a patient. How long has it been? What brings you in? Do you play kickball too? Like what I want to know about you as a human. And also that's when we get to let our patients know that the next steps. We're going to take x-rays. We're going to take a scan. We are going to take photos. We're going to do your dental cleaning. Should I see anything, I'm going to explain to you what I see, and we're going to come up with a great game plan. And you're going to walk out of here understanding what insurance covers and what's out of pocket. That way, you know what to expect as soon as you're escorted to your private suite. Dylan, I wasn't thinking about other people when I designed this. I thought about, what do I want? What would Shaggy want? I want to know what to experience, right? Because I've been to other just not dental practices, but just other medical practice.
General practice.
And I go and I'm like, okay, like, where do I sit? Like, do I sit here? Do I sit there? And should I just be ready to go? You just don't necessarily know what to expect. So that's why I'm very clear about what to expect along, I call it the dental journey, the new patient experience. So it's not just, for your exam. It's a new patient experience. And that's truly how we treat it in this office.
So what advice would you give or 2 or 3 pieces of advice for general business owners as well as those that are in your industry?
Get to know your patient. Get to know your patient first. Truly get to know them. Not just, how long has it been since your dental experience? Okay, anything hurting or bothering you? Get to know them. What brings them in? What barriers may they have, right? Because to be vulnerable, I don't take it for granted. The second the patient tells me, I had an uncomfortable experience, I'm not ignoring that. I'm acknowledging that and the goal is hopefully where you feel warm enough that you can express that to me and I'm not going to brush it off. And even if we have to get you back in to explain a more extensive game plan, we will do that. Because if it's a lot, even for anyone, it could potentially be a lot. If it's been 10 years and there's things happening and you're really trying to resolve that, I will always give my patient mad props, as I call it, for you coming in here when I know it's an insecurity of yours and I appreciate you opening up to me and trusting me with your smile. I don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
I know that it is a big deal, and every single one of my team members make sure that they take it just as seriously.
Well, I appreciate the insight of really, again, elevating the patient experience and really talking about, is, for those who don't know, I'm in the nonprofit landscape, and for me, we're in the relationship business, and we're also in the experience business. It's no different from yours.
Yeah.
And I did not include this at the list of questions, so be prepared. But I know you're wearing a green jacket, and you have this sort of elevated experience that you're providing for reoccurring patients, and that's called the Bite Club. Can you elevate that conversation of why the Bite Club exists and what was the purpose of that from a business perspective as well as from a patient perspective?
My theory with anything and everything that I do, if there are good intentions, something will come up from it. Not that I have this sort of dollar number or we're going to get, because my CFO asked me, you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on this event. What's the end goal? And I was like, good question. I just want to have a good time with my patients, you know? I am so blessed to be around other like-minded entrepreneurs. And so many times I'm sitting in the dental chair, and due to HIPAA, I can't be like, oh, hey, Dylan, oh my God, you should totally do this business with like this other person, right? And so I wanted to create something where other like-minded business owners can collaborate. So I want to support other businesses that, of course, if they're a patient, I'm 100% going to support them, and vice versa. So I want them to get to know each other, meet each other, or honestly, even if a friendship aspires from that, how wonderful would that be, right? And we had a successful first event, which was amazing.
Yes.
And I think patients just loved getting to know each other, making friends, networking, basically. It ended up being a big networking event, right?
Yeah.
And it was a great time.
Yeah.
And so after the event, as I look back on it, of course, and I pay these high-level people to help me and guide me. So like, okay, Shaggy, like this, you can't just spend money to spend money, right? But I was like, no, I want to build a certain culture around this that no other dental office has. No other dental office has a membership club. No other dental group has this. And I know we have something so special, and we have such cool patients. I love going to work every day because I can sit there and hang out with a patient. And I wanted to build a dental practice that wasn't like clockwork. Right? 45 minutes next, 45 minutes next. I used to work in that space back in the day. Right? And I did not want that
transactional.
I did not want that. If I wanted to chill with my patient and talk about the weekend or talk about vacation plans, I want to be able to comfortably sit there. And of course, my team is probably like, doc, but they know that about me. They know I'm probably going to sit there for 10, 15 minutes. So make sure that they give me enough time of a heads up of like, if you're needed next door, just kind of speed it up a little bit respectfully. Right? But that's what it's all about.
Well, and I appreciate you being so candid about, that sometimes you want to elevate these experiences and it comes at a cost. And I would encourage business leaders, it's no different when it comes to accessibility, to create a network within your patient network that comes from various industries, and elevating that experience that all ties back to your business while supporting fellowship opportunities. I'll give you an example. We actually have, we're doing a silent auction this year for our event, and Nicole from Allure and Alchemy, I did not know that was her business. I knew who she was. I just didn't know if it was her business. And so she donated a couple of auction items. And I searched them up many years ago. And I was like, man, one day I'm going to use this service. I don't know. But I didn't picture the face and the name to the business. And I think that is so important to build that fellowship network. We learn new things from people if we only create a space for them to actually have that experience. And so I commend you for elevating that patient experience and encouraging your industry to elevate what that might look like for our patients. And reality is we all want to support one another. We all want to elevate each other. And you are definitely changing the game from the perspective of what I'm doing in my own space. So we're going to go to commercial number 2. And this commercial is basically my call to action. For those who don't know, North Texas Giving Day is on September 17th. That's Thursday, September 17th. And what I encourage you guys to all do is to go on northtexasgivingday.org to learn about all the various nonprofits that are collecting donations in support of their mission and causes. The North Texas Disability Chamber is participating this year on North Texas Giving Day, and I would encourage you to support us and the various organizations that we represent. Dr. Shecky, you may not know this, but we have over 85 nonprofits that are either a member or or partner within our organization. And we're proudly supporting many of them through the various work that they do day to day all around North Texas. So please don't forget to donate to the various organizations, whether in the disability space or not. Encourage you to go to northtexasgivingday.org to learn more. Thank you. All right, so we're going to our last segment. And our last segment is really the vulnerable conversation. And I hope to really talk about what does businesses get wrong around accessibility, the fear of making mistakes, and as well as why accessibility should be seen as an opportunity rather than an obligation. So my question to you first is, where do businesses unintentionally create barriers despite having good intentions?
I think that's a good question. Honestly, for you, Dylan, I would love to get your insights. So then as a business owner, I can kind of give you my insight on that.
Sometimes we assume more than we should. And we often, now I don't see you have that problem. It's typically in other places that I've seen is we assume we automatically provide it. And then sometimes they get the response, I don't need this. And then they feel rejected. What reality is you assume that we might need something. I'll give you an example. I attended an event a couple years ago. People assumed because I'm deaf and hard of hearing, I would need an ASL interpreter. I don't need an ASL interpreter. So they would put me away from this actual panel. I need to see facial expressions. I need to see lip reading. And so I would need to have that kind of environment. Instead, I was placed in front of an ASL interpreter that I didn't need. I didn't even request it. And so they assumed that it was good intentions, but that sometimes we often act before we think. And so I think that's one example of it's always good to ask first before making such accommodation or request. So I'm curious to know from your perspective, I know you provide that elevated patient experiences. What do you think some businesses in other general fields, that may not be dentistry, that have unintentionally realized that it didn't necessarily benefit from
I think you hit it on the head as far as you got to ask someone what they need before you assume. Because I can't imagine how that even made you feel. Like, what? Especially you. You're Mr. like social guy.
Yes.
I know you wanted to be front and center, like right there in the middle of the action, but then being placed elsewhere, that's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And you're 100%. You're Dylan Rafaty. You're meant to be in the middle. So, I mean, I hate that for you, but I know that, you know, not just assuming, asking those questions. And I mean, thank goodness, I will say, I feel like we're pretty good at asking that. Even I have a team member that fractured her toe. So she's in a boot right now. But I did ask her, I was like, do we need to accommodate anything? Like, do I need something? Instead of just saying, go sit in the back and elevate your foot every hour. Like, okay, I know there's things that you got to get done. Like, you tell me. Please express to me what we need to do so we can better accommodate.
The next question is, how do you create a culture where employees feel empowered?
This is something, God, what book did I read it in? You got to give your team ownership.
Okay.
So I tell them, guys, everyone knows, for the most part, like my heart, how I think.
Yeah.
If you feel in your heart that you want to do something kind for a patient, do it.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need that extra 10 minutes of a little bit of TLC with your patient before a doctor walks in, before the cleanings, whatever it is, do that. Whenever you build that relationship with a patient, they might open up about certain things,
Yes.
or they may not be as comfortable to open up with the doctor. So for instance, we had a patient that lost a family member.
Yeah.
Devastating. And she texted us, I'm sorry, I need to cancel and we have a cancellation policy.
Yeah.
But instead of being by the book and we're going to charge you for the cancellation fee, instead we sent her flowers.
Yeah.
And she was so moved by that. Oh, unreasonable hospitality.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's what it is. Sorry. So that was the book that and it's crazy because I read that book later on, but I realized the team does that. If someone has a big event, that it's their sister's wedding, and a team member feels in their heart that they want to give complimentary teeth whitening, that's $75.
Yeah.
But if they felt in their heart that I really want to do this for this patient, they don't even ask me. They just let me know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, perfect. That's awesome. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Hey doc, I don't think maybe we just shouldn't charge this because of XYZ. Absolutely. Because like I said before, we grew up with that mindset of the more you give, the more it will come, you know? And I feel like if you have good intentions in your heart to give to other people, people are going to feel that, they're going to see that, and things will happen the way they're supposed to.
Well, I'm going to end it with a comment and a question for you with this segment. Is, for those who don't know, Dr. Shaggy and I are like cousins.
Yes.
We're not like blood-related cousins, but we call each other cousins.
Yes.
And I think what people don't often realize, we're also Virgos too. So we think we're perfect and smart at the same time. But I will say this, is we come from a multicultural family background, both of us. Mm-hmm. And we were raised and taught to support our elders, the people around us. Our parents have taught us the importance of being aware and self-aware of our actions and those that we see. And so what the question I have for you in that sense is, knowing this journey that you've been on, this trajectory, and you're experiencing growth and scalability, but also growing pains. What has your family personally taught you as a serial entrepreneur?
Today is yesterday's tomorrow.
Okay. Can you say that again?
Today is yesterday's tomorrow.
Okay.
So how often do we say, tomorrow I'll get to it? Tomorrow. That goes with diet. That goes with exercise. That goes with business plans.
Yep.
That goes, you have to take action. You can't just say, oh, tomorrow or one day, because it will never get done. And especially in today's world, there's zero excuse to execute anything. We have something called ChatGPT. We have forums. There's people that are eager to mentor. Anything that's in your heart that you see, especially if it's something that you feel like you can change for the better, why not be that person that's going to do it?
Yeah.
Why wait around for someone else when it could be you?
Yeah. Very good. And that basically summarized the last question I was going to ask, but I'll switch it up a little bit. In the end, what does accessibility and inclusion mean to you?
It's just accommodating everyone to feel like they're loved and respected, creating an environment that anyone can be a part of and help grow and make better too.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shaggy, for your
Thank you,
support.
Wayne.
This means a lot, and I'm so grateful that you were able to join us on our first episode of season 2, and I'm so excited that we have had join us, and I hope you enjoy the episode today. Today, again, was someone who I've grown up over the years, and I got to know through her family and our family and so forth, and I hope you got a glimpse of what it means from her perspective of how to elevate experiences for all people with disabilities and those without disabilities, as well as what does it look like from a bottom line, from a business standpoint, as well as how could it apply to your organization. Anyways, see you next time for episode number 2. Take care. Bye-bye.